Hey guys, it's Day Off from the Ferrisman's Welcome Home Show. And today we're going to be talking about camp varieties, because whenever you come to Kerrville, there's a lot of different camps, a lot of different themes, and a lot of different things that you can get incorporated with. Now these are very interactive camps, so feel free to go and talk to as many of them as you can, because you will find the people that you want to be associated with within the Kerrville Folk Festival at these camps. So here are some interviews of some of the camps that we did during the 50th year anniversary, and I hope you enjoy them. Action. Okay, please give us your name.
Well, my name is Davis, and they call me the Corn Dog King because I am the Corn Dog King. It's an elected position, and I've been Corn Dog King out here at Kerrville for, about 25 years now.
Okay, so obviously the Corn Dog King, you don't do hot dogs. So how did it come apart? How did it come about that you became the Corn Dog King?
Well, the way it came about actually is many years ago, Jim O'Brien took over the concession in the main theater. And he quit selling, he sold health food, and they didn't sell corn dogs. And a lady in our camp, Charlotte, decided that we should all have corn dogs. So she went and bought corn dogs for our camp. And the next year, I happened to be playing on the main stage with another friend, Chip Malden. And we decided to have our first annual corn dog family reunion and elect a king and queen for the festivities. And everybody dressed up in their favorite white trash, trailer trash outfits. And I was elected king and Charlotte elected queen. And we've been carrying this tradition on for many years. And in the last few years, I had a man sponsor me, and we started taking donations and sponsoring kids for teen music camp, being able to donate money to them. So out of a stupid little thing of not selling corn dogs, we were able to do something beneficial for the ranch.
Wow, that's incredible. And you've been coming to the ranch how long?
I started coming out here. I came here in the early 70s, about 74, with my brother-in-law was playing with the band Milton Carroll, but I only came out for a couple of days. I didn't camp, and then in 83, a good friend of mine, I'd been going to Telluride, and he said, "You really need to come out here to Kerrville." I said, "Well, I've been out there." He said, "No, you need to come out to Kerrville." I said, "Okay." And he came out, and I camped over across the way from here with Butch Hancock and Jimmy Dale Gilmore. And ever since then, I don't believe I've missed one yet.
Yeah.
Since then.
Well, within this being the 50th year, I know that you go to both the large and the fall fest.
Right.
What would you say your most favorite 50th year performance of the main stage actors or Threadgill? Which one do you think is probably the?
Boy, that's a tough one. That is a real tough one. Favorite performance. My memory is so bad that they run together, and I really can't tell you the favorite act that I had.
Well, that's fine. How about this? Within everything you've experienced on the ranch, what has been your favorite experience?
Well, one of my favorite experiences this 50th anniversary was they have a land rush before what they call it, settling in, and people come early to get their spots on camp in the camp. And on that first day, it's usually kind of quiet here in like midweek time. And lo and behold, they had the most perfect double rainbow on this. I was standing almost in this spot here, and you could see the double rainbow going from horizon to horizon across the top of those mountains. And everybody that was here just came out into the meadow in awe, looking up, and it was just immediately everybody started hugging each other. So glad to be back here on the ranch for the 50th anniversary of this. That was my absolute favorite moment out here.
Excellent. And I was right there in my trailer watching the same thing. I was amazed.
Wasn't it amazing? It was magical to see all the people hugging and everything in front of that. Yeah.
Well, one more question is, if you had the opportunity to tell yourself something before you came to the Kerrville Folk Festival that is very important, or even to somebody that's never been here before, what would that information be?
I think that information would be just get out here and do it, enjoy it, because it's almost inexplainable. The camaraderie, the family, how people come together. If you need something, you just go around and someone is going to have what you need. If you need something to cook with, somebody's going to have that. And I would say that just come out here and experience it, and you will be hooked for life.
I got one more for you because of the way you brought it up. The magic of Kerrville. And tell me an experience of whenever you have thought of something and it has summoned itself before you without even doing anything else. You have any of those stories? Because I've caught a lot of those style of stories with the people I've been interviewing. Mm-hmm. And it's almost like Mary. It's like she says she doesn't even have to pick up the phone. She'll just think about the person or what she needs, and then that person will show up. Has that happened to you?
It has happened to me several times. You find just little nuances, something that really makes a difference. This year, there were some younger folks camped behind me, and they looked a little rough, and but I said, you just don't know. You just don't know people, and what they've been through. And we got to talking, got a conversation, and the young gentleman told me that he was out here for the 50th, came out here for a day. He'd just moved back to Kerrville. He'd been in a lot of trouble before. He came out here and stayed for a day, and he said it made a difference in my life. I can't explain it, but it really turned me around and showed me that there are different people in this world, and it turned my way of thinking. And so he said, I'm coming back.
Nice.
And he was here. Well, I love stuff like that.
Excellent. And cut. Action.
Hi, welcome to Camp Stupid. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting cow.
Interrupting cow. And now you've been laid out like a flat patty. All right, so if you could please tell the camera your names, please.
Well, I'm Bucky.
And I'm Marietta.
And we're Wild Rabbit Salad. And this is Camp No Stress. We've been here actually collectively about 20 years almost. It was Mixed Nuts before that, and that was about 6 years ago. We got a new name, Marietta.
And so Camp No Stress is the new name.
Yes.
From Mixed Nuts to No Stress.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Well, how many years have y'all both been coming? And have y'all both been coming together at the same time?
I've been coming for 19 years.
Okay.
And then 15, part of my approval process was to come to Kerrville, see if I could hang. That was 15 years ago, and I've been here ever since.
Well, is the probationary period almost over?
It's hard to tell. Those things it's a slippery slope. One oh crap equals 1,000 attaboys. That still holds, so I'm still watching my P's and Q's.
Very good, very good. Well, within the 50th anniversary, we've got Big Folk and Little Folk. Between those, of course, we're in the middle of Little Folk now. What would you say is one of the most best experiences that you've probably had that just happened for this 50th year?
Well, I think when shooting a video down at Mama Tribe was pretty cool. We love those guys, and that's the happening camp right now.
That was a lot of fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Excellent.
It's always magical to participate in different camps.
Yeah.
Share your music.
Excellent, excellent. And on that magical note, everybody I've been interviewing has been talking about the Kerrville magic. It's like if Mary said, is like, I don't even have to call anybody anymore. I just think about it, say it out loud, and in 5 minutes, whatever it is there. What type of magical moments has Kerrville brought y'all? And it doesn't have to be within the 50th year, but just over the amount of time that you've been here.
Well, it brought music back into my life. You know, when I started coming out here, I had put it aside, and it brought music back into my life, and that right there is the magic that made me want to stay.
Excellent.
Yeah, but coming out here makes you a better songwriter, makes you a better singer, makes you a better person in interpersonal relationships, because that's pretty much most of what the magic is people, you know, visiting with each other, gifting each other with their music and friendship.
It's true.
Well, if there was one thing you could go back and tell y'all's previous Kerrville selves, what would you tell your conversion before he stepped foot on the ranch or she stepped foot on the ranch?
I would have told me more about the interpersonal exchange between songwriters and musicians on the ranch, because I had no clue about that part of it. I didn't know about the songwriting school until I got here either. And yeah, there were a few things that might have got me out here sooner if I'd known.
Okay.
Don't eat brown house.
Why?
I don't know. I didn't eat it. I'm a quick learner. I know, like I say, one old crap is equals 1,000 attaboys, so I try to watch my P's and Q's.
Good job. Good job. Well, I appreciate it. Is there anything else that you could tell a group, a couple, somebody who wants to come out here? What is it? What should you do? What is your best advice to anybody that's watching this that you want to tell them to come to Kerrville?
It's a great way to decompress. That's what I'm here for, and it really works.
It really does work. Everyone gets involved. Even, you know, people who aren't musicians find some way that they can contribute. It's a wonderful gift to have this festival.
Excellent. And if you'll give us your name and the first year that you came to the Kerrville Folk Festival.
All right, well, I'm Janet Feld, and the first year that I came here was in 1989 for New Folk, and I came with my friend David Holmes, and I had never been to Texas before, and I didn't know anybody here besides my friend David, and we camped up on the hill, and it was really hot.
It's hot at Kerrville? What?
Well, you know, I just had never experienced Texas hot before, you know, and you know, I'm from Massachusetts, so it's a completely different world down here. And I walked in, you know, I pitched my tent, and then we walked down to the main stage area, and the first night I was here, sure it was the first night. It was the first night of the festival. It was the Thursday, and I heard Pierce Pettis, Ann Armstrong, and Steve Hughes. Then I heard John Ennis. I heard Lyle Lovett. I heard artists that I hadn't heard of before on the main stage. That I was just like, why haven't I heard them? These people, they're so amazing. And I went home, and you know, it was 1989, so I went home with a bunch of LPs and managed to get them home without them warping. You know, as a songwriter, you know, that was the first Kerrville magic of being a Kerrvirgin, as we say, and just being like, wow, I can just sit in these circles with you, and it's like one great song after another, and having people really want to hear my songs, and you know, just from coming here that year, by the next year I was starting to tour Texas with my friend Bernice Lewis, who I met waiting online for the outhouse here, in 1989. We call it our power move. And she brought me on the road with her the next year. And, you know, just from hanging out here, you know, I started touring Texas. And, you know, in terms of magical moments, every festival, there are just every day there's magical moments where like you're just sitting here, you know, wow, I get to be here for this. There's so many moments like that everywhere. Somebody plays a song that just blows your mind, you know, and you think, that's the best song I've ever heard in my whole life. And then the next person plays something, it's like, no, that's the best song that I've ever heard in my whole life. The other thing, though, is that a couple of my best mentors, songwriting mentors I met here and studied. I went to the, you know, a couple of years I studied at the Kerrville Songwriting School, and then there's a couple of people that I met here. The first year we camped on the hill, but after that, for many years, I camped at Camp Cuisine. I camped at Camp Nashville a couple of years. And then I didn't come for a long time. I took about 10 years off. And then when we came in 2016, we stayed at the Super 8.
Well, that's a great segue then. Let's talk a little about you. Give us your name and obviously 2008.
John Green, and I'm Janet's husband. And my first year at Kerrville was 2016. Janet brought me here. And yeah, you know, she told me about this place. I had to see it and believe it. It's just magical, just like she said it was. And the music, the people, the camaraderie, all of it. It's just, once you experience it, you got to come back for more.
Are you a musician yourself?
Yeah, I play.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Well, one of the things that's been really wonderful is that by coming here, it's really helped him, you know, he's really shy about playing in front of people. So it's really helped him, you know, get over being so shy about singing and playing in front of people.
You know, I've talked to a lot of people, and they said that the camaraderie between musicians here, that you would never be able to go and feel like you could go and be a part of something they do, even if it's just with an open jam or just listening to. That Kerrville is the absolute best place to do that, and there's really no other place to do it as openly. Have y'all found anything else that matches Kerrville's energy that way?
There's nothing else. I mean, you know, I've been to other festivals and other gatherings, but there is nothing. This is a very unique experience. It's a very, the vibe there's a very particular vibe here, you know, that I think some of it has to do with the fact that it's in Texas, but also I think there's something about, you know, this land here. Kennedys have been so generous sharing this piece of land with us for so many years, and it's like the music and the camaraderie and all the love and stuff is just steeped into the soil here, you know, and you walk into this ranch and you can just feel it, you know, I can't walk on here without crying, you know, when I've been away, you know, as soon as you drive up and they say, welcome home, you know, I'm like, yeah, you know, because there's nothing like this anywhere. There's other special experiences in other places that have to do with music that I love, you know, that we love and we spend time at, but, you know what, it's like when you talk about New York City, you know, there's other great cities in the world, but New York City, I mean, we live in Boston, but like there is, you know, New York City is its own, very own planet. You know, there's other really fabulous special cities. I mean, so Kerrville's like that, where, you know, there's. I've been in other situations where people will be like, oh yeah, it's just like Kerrville. It's like, nah, not so much.
Well, okay, on the final question, what would you tell somebody that's never been here before, your last little piece of, this is a good nugget?
Stay in the present. Stay in the present, because that's where the magic is. And it's really easy when you're you're in a situation where there's all these people here and there's all this music here, and you know, making art is so vulnerable. It's really easy to like feel like, oh, you know, you feel like, oh my God, you get FOMO. You're missing something, you know, like, oh, you know. And of course you're missing something because you can't be all places at once. But if you allow yourself to be in the present, this is what I would have said to myself before I came the first time. Don't worry about what they're doing over at that campfire or here or there. You know, just like with a meditation, you know, come back to the mantra, which is whatever you're doing in the present. And that's really where you're gonna experience the best magic.
Excellent. And we're rolling. If you could please give us your name.
My name is Bill Nash. I've been coming to Kerrville since 1994, and I've missed 4 weekends in all that time. I live here when it's going on, and it's life-changing. This festival has always been, for me, exactly what has to happen in my life. So when I started here, I was living with a bunch of people in another area because of a coffee house in Dallas that I had volunteered at. And I got kicked out of there, and I came to this spot that I have for my Camp Nashville, which is my name backwards with a camp in front of it. And everybody that comes here, finds out immediately that this is the most accepting camp in the place. Because it doesn't matter what kind of a player you are, what kind of a musician you are, you're going to be accepted here. And you can go to, there's usually during the spring, there's 30 to 35 camps going on, circles going on. And maybe 5 or 6 of them really want to try to sit down there because they don't want you here, basically. Camp Nashville used to be right over here, a little ways down from me. And people would come by my camp and ask me, is this Camp Nashville? And I'd say, no. Go right over there to Camp Nashville and try to get them one of their chairs. And when they get you to play your best song. After they kick you out of there, come back here and play your worst song. That's what I want to hear. Invariably, they will come back in 15-20 minutes. Because this is an acceptance place, and I accept everybody. I only had a couple of rules about people, and that was usually if you were drunk, you're not playing my guitar. But those kind of things, I really have, I've got a reputation for that here. And I've had some, actually in the last 2 years, I've had some times when I've had people who were very young, in their teens or in their early 20s, and they would actually, usually they migrate away from places like this because I'm an old man to them. But I've had a few come in here and feel that energy, where they're feeling like they're acceptable, and they come back, and they keep coming back, and that's how the whole thing is going to keep going, if it does at all.
Well, what is it that keeps you coming back?
Well, first of all, I'm a musician, and I've always been a musician since I was a 5-year-old boy. I was a boy soprano in church and all. I started playing French horn when I was in 4th grade, and started taking guitar lessons at 14. Within about 4 years, I was teaching in the same store that I took my first lessons in.
Okay.
So it's always been part of my fiber. There's just nothing else in the world that I radiate with better than that. And the community here is the biggest reason why this place is so special, because it's basically, there's so many hugs here. We went through COVID and we had to stop from hugging and had to wear masks and all that shit. And it was basically, I'm sorry, I'm coming to hug everybody that I can. And if they don't have a thing on their wristband that says they don't want to be hugged, they're getting hugged.
Right.
So that is the biggest part about this place. It's a community of people who, they may not know everybody's name, but they know everybody's face.
Right.
And they know the history of what they've gotten through with those people. That changes when you come to new people coming in, because obviously it's a new face and it's a new thing. But when you come in here as a new person, You just have to come in with an open mind and a positive outlook.